Hey guys, Jeff the Nature Guy, and today we're going to talk about Steve, our leopard gecko. And you know, these animals, they are very popular in the pet trade, but my gosh, they are such a neat animal. And I'm not sure many people realize really how cool they are, especially in their wild habitat. Now, first of all, these guys are found in northern India, Afghanistan, so a place where you don't really think of a lot of wildlife, but I tell you, wildlife is teeming. Now, a couple neat things about this. It's one of the few gecko species that actually have eyelids. So this guy will actually close his eyes, just like you and I do, which is something you don't really see that common in gecko species. The other unique thing about them is they don't possess those toe pads that a lot of geckos do, meaning these guys cannot climb vertical walls like geckos that you may have seen, like the Madagascar gecko that we have here at the zoo. So that's kind of a unique thing as well. Now, the other thing you're going to notice is on the back of his head, he's got those little openings right there. That's his tympanic membrane, basically his ears. And believe it or not, these guys can actually hear quite well, which is kind of a unique and interesting thing. Now, as I turn him around, you're going to notice that big giant tail. That tail is huge, and that tail, well, it's pretty unique because, well, it stores a lot of fat reserves for him. So if he were in the wild during the winter time, he's going to go into a semi-hibernation called brumation. It's not a true hibernation. They still do get up to get drinks from time to time, but they sleep the winter away. And obviously, he'll actually use that tail to live off the fat reserves in that tail. So a lot of times in the springtime, you'll see these guys in the wild with really skinny tails. They just don't have the fat reserves built up quite yet. The other neat thing about that tail is, like a lot of lizard species, they can actually drop that tail as a self-defense. So if he's getting attacked, that tail will come off and it will regenerate into a new tail, although it really won't look quite as glorious as this one here does that you see here. Now, one of my favorite things about these guys is when they shed, they always eat their own skin. And you're probably thinking, gross, why in the world do they do that? Well, let me tell you, we don't really know. There's two theories on why that is. The first theory is that by eating the skin, that gets rid of any trace that there's a gecko there. So it's not going to be a piece of skin and his predator is going to say, hey, there's a gecko around, I'm going to stick around and eat this guy. That's one theory. The theory that makes most sense to me, it's for the protein. There's a lot of protein in that skin. If he eats it up, it gives him energy. It helps to build up that fat reserve. And so maybe it just makes him a little bit healthier. Think of that next time you're peeling your sunburn. Maybe eat it and it'll give you some protein. Don't do that. I'm kidding. One final thing, their teeth. They have over 100 teeth in there, and get this, they replace those teeth usually about every 3 to 4 months. How cool is that? But anyway, guys, leopard gecko Steve, they are solitary, so he is the only one that we have here at the zoo, but we love him to death. Hopefully lives about 10 to 15 years here at the zoo. Guys, until next time, I'm Jeff the Nature Guy here at the zoo. We'll see you soon.